Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Sue Brook from SueBrook.com and DiscoverYourEyeBooks.com. I'm here with Susan Shepard from Getting What You Want and Kathy Pendleton. Yay! And Susan is in Glendale and Kathy's up north somewhere.
That's right.
What town exactly are you in?
San Carlos this morning.
Oh, I don't even know where that is. Okay, cool.
South of San Francisco, north of Palo Alto.
Okay, cool. So we're talking about our new book and called Discover Your Identity. It's the first book in our series of Discover Your Eye books, and I'm so excited that we're all authors in the book. So, Kathy, since you're brand new to Blab, is this your first one?
It is my first one, yes.
Yes, very fun. You'll get it.
Blab.
So tell us who you are and a little bit about maybe why you wanted to be in the book, and you can tell your story if you want.
So as Sue says, my name is Kathy Pendleton. I grew up on the East Coast, and I wanted to be in the book. I guess I wanted to be in the book because I know that some people have really strong feelings. I guess we all have strong feelings about our identities, but they have a really strong connection to their vision or whatever it is that they think makes them, this is who I am exactly. And I didn't exactly have that. I didn't grow up having a really strong sense of identity. I kind of felt it develop over time. And I noticed that things changed as I grew older. And so I guess that was what, as opposed to your story, Sue, which I know, I know some of your story, and as opposed to that piece of your identity, and you, Susan, you and I had a somewhat similar experience in that we were discouraged from following our dreams based on the fact that we're girls.
Wow.
So that, I don't think it was when I wanted to be a doctor, and when I was discouraged from doing that, it really wasn't. It wasn't put exactly in the terms that Susan experienced. It was like, why do you want to spend all? It was more practical, right? Practical. Why do you want to spend all this money when all you're going to do is get married and have kids anyway? And so.
Well, we all grew up in that era, I think. When I grew up, there was the same thing. I was from a very small town, and everybody just assumed you get married, you have kids, you stay in that small town. You might be a teacher or a nurse, kind of like what Susan. But yeah, I totally get it. We all grew up in that same general kind of thinking.
Right, and that's what I did in college, right? I was working on a math degree, but the practical thing said, well, you better get a teaching certificate to go along with it. So I did. I got a minor in education. Anyway, I didn't want to teach high school or junior high school, so I didn't do that. And I got a job with a computer company where there were very few women in the field at that time. I really loved it. And I guess when I was in high school, the one thing I really didn't compromise on was the fact that I wanted to be an exchange student.
Oh, wow.
And they started a program at being an exchange student in my school, and I signed up for it, and I was one of the kids who was chosen to go away. And I discovered that I really love travel. And when I came back and I was part of the interview team for the students the next year, I discovered that I had a real affinity for connecting with people, I guess, with people, and I could understand other people's points of view, and it wasn't, and I'd been exposed, and my horizons had been widened, and I just wanted that to continue. I was ready to just travel and travel and travel. So then I left home. I went away to college, and I, as I said, I changed my career plan, got a job in the computer industry, and once again, I pursued travel. Interestingly enough, I did education in the computer industry, right? So I kind of took on the persona, but I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of people, and once again, I traveled and traveled and traveled, and soon my travel was extended to international travel as well. And I guess part of my identity is that I'm a little bit of a gypsy, and I really enjoy learning about and experiencing different cultures and different different ways of looking at things. I remember I traveled to Amsterdam a lot and Holland a lot, and I found out that, oh, my coffee is arriving.
Well, Kathy's getting her coffee there. We got some new people in the room here. Hi, Jim and Annie and Emma. We're here talking to some authors of our first book in our Discover Your iBook series, Discover Your Identity. And Kathy is actually doing a quick synopsis of her story of discovering her identity. And then we're going to hear from Susan and hopefully some other authors. We're doing a book series and looking for authors for our next book. So, sorry, Kathy, I'm glad you got your coffee today. Are you more perky now? Okay, yeah, so
we're staying at a friend's apartment. We haven't figured out how to make coffee here.
Oh, so Kathy's in our book, and she's going over her story, and I also want to kind of know what was it like to write this story and put it out there to the world and actually be an author in a book?
It actually required a lot of thought. I never had I was never very passionate about a vision, and so coming up with a vision later on, which I've done and I'm pursuing at this point, coming up with that vision later on, I was very, very excited to have the opportunity that the book afforded me to investigate that inside my own mind, to just think about how that had developed and how it had stayed with me. And so my vision now is really to encourage and educate people on how to be their own medical spokesperson or medical navigator, moving through and experiencing treatment, through the American medical industry. And there are a number of books out there about that already. I've read a number of them, and that whole vision was ignited in me by helping my in-laws through some experiences of their own. And I discovered that I had, whether it's correct or not, it's not always correct. I've found that it's been revised a number of times from friends that I have who work in the medical industry. Susan and I talk about it, and there are times when we vehemently disagree. She's got one side and I've got the other, right? And I'm like, but this just isn't, and this isn't the way I would like to see it done. And she's, well, that's the way it's done, and the patient gets successfully treated. But so what I feel like is that, and what I'm passionate about, and what has continued to grow in spite of being discarded a couple of times, what has continued to grow is this conviction that individuals need to participate in their health care. They need to be active. I know when we're all sick, we just want to say, oh, please, can I just get better? Just take care of me. Can't a pill help this? Or, doesn't orange juice work anymore? What happened to the benefits of chicken soup? And 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 really, the good part is that a lot of times that's all it takes. But there are more times when that's not what it takes. It takes a little more than that. And I think that individuals need to stand up for themselves. They need to be cognizant and aware of how they feel, to realize that they're the ones who know their bodies best, and that they need to convey that information. They need to tell that information to the professional that they're working with. That's the only way to really to get the understanding and to have the investigation make what their problems are make any sense.
So Kathy, it might be a good idea for you to look into starting some blabs and getting some other people that are thinking the same way you are to get it out there. So, Diane, it looks like Diane is coming in to see us. I'm guessing Diane's at work right now and can't get on, but it'd be cool if you could. So Kathy, so the book, Discover Your Identity. So your story is finding your identity later in life, as I did. So we're going to come back to you in just a second. Susan is the co-creator of the book and the publisher as well. Susan, can you tell us a little about who you are, your website and all that stuff, and you can talk a little bit about the book too.
Sure. So I'm Susan Shepard. The name of my company is Getting What You Want, and I have my coaching, my authorship, my publishing company, my radio station, and I don't know what else I've done. Calendar production. So I tend to be a bit scattered, but my story in the book is all about how I wanted to be an engineer, and back in the 50s, they wouldn't even let me take mechanical drawing in high school. The school board turned me down. I petitioned the school board, and the school board turned me down, and they said, no way, you're a girl. We recommend home economics classes. As you could possibly imagine, I was not happy. That did not make me happy. So, and I was an honor student and very much encouraged to get good grades and, take all these college prep classes and stuff. And then when it came time to apply to colleges, my parents said, well, you're not going to college. You're a girl. You're going to get married and have kids. And I'm like, maybe, but not right now. I want to go to college. I want to be an engineer. My dad said, well, there's no money for you to go to college. We bought insurance policies on you kids when you were young. And I was the oldest of 6 children, 3 boys, 3 girls. And he said the boys got policies that matured to $20,000, and the girls got policies that matured to $2,000, and that $2,000 was to pay for our wedding. I was livid. Yeah, livid is the word. And my first thought wasn't, I got to find somebody to get married to. My first thought was, how can I go to college on $2,000? Which I did. He finally said, well, you could be a teacher or a nurse. And I'm like, well, I didn't want to be a teacher. But ironically, I am a teacher too. But I said I could go to nursing school, and I could get a college credit for my nursing classes, and then basically go to school. Kathy, stop texting me. She says my sound is bad, and I don't know how to fix it because I'm not on my own computer.
Oh, it actually sounds fine to me.
Is it?
I don't know, Kathy. It could be yours.
Better? A little bit better?
Your sounded good. So.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to worry about that sound. All right.
No, I think it sounds good. So keep going.
What I did was I went to nursing school, a 3-year nursing school, which was part of Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. And I got my nursing degree. The good news was I got a degree. The bad news was I hated nursing school. And so then I had to figure out where I could work so I could go back to school and do something else. And the place I figured out that I could work was the emergency department. I liked the chaos. I liked the confusion. I liked all the unpredictability. And I liked the fact that the nurses actually saw the patients first and told the doctors what to do. So I ended up staying there for 40 years and saved a lot of lives. And then I transitioned after that. It's another whole long story, but I'm not going to tell that right now. But
no, we don't have till tomorrow afternoon.
I know. So I transitioned into saving lives a different way. So right now I work with people who have wounded or broken hearts and help them find love. So it has a lot more to do with their life, making their life work in a different way than I did for 40 years. And so when Kathy says she and I talk about medicine, I definitely have a different perspective than she does. So we do have vehement discussions. They're not mean, they're just vehement and very interesting discussions about the way things work in hospitals. And I was a hospital administrator for 20 years, and so I definitely have a different perspective than she does. But I wanted to publish books because I have a whole lot of books that I'm writing, and I'm writing a series of children's books about sex. That sounds horrible.
I know, it really does.
It's not about how to do sex, it's how to not to do sex when you're growing up.
Hi, Diana lives in the same town I do, Susan. She's in our mastermind.
Welcome.
Yeah, we're in our Rockstar Mastermind. She's new. We just had lunch today. Thanks for joining us, Diana.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of my story that's in the book. It's like my identity clearly is that I'm a healer and an influencer. And it's been proven to me many, many times. And like Kathy, I've wandered in and out of the relationship coaching business only because I kept saying, no, I want to do something else. So, I am a serial entrepreneur. I've had about 10 businesses and they're all over the map, from waterbed sheet sales to geologists and geophysicists and construction. Anyway, so mostly I keep coming back to this relationship coaching because it makes a big difference. And I know that what the work that I do with my clients, it has to do with having their life work in more ways than just relationship. So I have about a dozen clients, and right now they're kind of all on a precipice of changing something major in their life, and it's really exciting. So my website is gettingwhatyouwant.com, and there's all kinds of things on there. There's the calendar, there's the iBooks, there's my coaching, there's the books I've written, there's a bunch of blog and stories and whatever. So that's kind of it for me.
Great. Diana, guys, I don't think we can hear you. Let's see. Can you try talking again? Diana? No, we can't hear you. Darn. Yeah, check your sound. Biz Walks Women. I think that's Emma. Yes. Oh, she's going to try again. Thank you for joining us. We're here with Susan Shepard of Getting What You Want, of Getting What You Want. And we've got Omar joining us too. Okay. We'd love to have some people have a seat. We have Discover Your I books, and again, Discover Your Identity is the first book in our series, and I know the title is Becoming a Published Author for Discover Your I books. Susan is the publisher of the book series, and if you want to give us a little idea, like I think there's people in the room that are curious about writing books and publishing books. We are looking for authors for our books, but you can also publish your own book with Susan. So go ahead, Susan, and talk about that.
Oh, well, getting what you want is really the balloon over people getting what they want from their life. And so if you have a book that fits within that realm of getting what you want from your life, and it really could be just about anything, then it could be published by my publishing company. And I look forward to hearing what people have to say and the interesting concepts and ideas and way out there concepts and ideas that people have, and how we can publish them and, you know, turn them into books, because I know books are wonderful. They, you know, the publishing industry has shifted radically in the last couple of years, and actually publishing your own work is much easier, and it gets recognition as just as professional as being published by a major book publishing company. So if you have an interest in publishing a book about anything, and particularly, you know, life growth experiences, expansion, ideas, even business, because actually I was a business coach long before I was a relationship coach, and relationships, and pretty much anything fits under my umbrella. There might be some things I'm not sure. Horror stories fit under my umbrella.
Well, it depends.
But you never know. I mean, they could very well.
If your identity is really a zombie, you know, you never know.
I mean, I live down the hill from Forest Lawn. My daughter says we're primed for the zombie invasion.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So to be an author in our next book series, our next one we're trying to do is, we're going to do is Discover Your Inspiration. I have a feeling Discover Your Intimacy is going to be right up there for one of the next ones as well. So do you want to, would you like to tell how they can become an author, Susan?
Oh, sure. It's like to become an author, all you have to really do is write a 1,500-word chapter. And we'd like to have as many as 20, maybe 30 different authors telling stories that are going to inspire other people. And that's really what it's about. We want to support people to get their feet wet, you know, actually publish something. And publishing a chapter in a book is the first step, because once you do that, you realize, okay, it's not so hard.
No.
And, maybe I could do more than one chapter.
That's right. Plus, you're sharing your story with other people and inspiring them. And you also get an author page like this one, so you get your picture and you can have your any information that you want to put as far as your business, or and we help you promote. So that's a really good way to get your business out there and your name and your story. And I know it does a lot for you personally, just to put your story down on paper and put it out for the world to see. And I also wanted to add that a lot of people, it's funny because this is the first book that I've been in that I become an author for. And a lot of people, you know, when I'm out speaking or talking to the public, they're saying, oh, how is your book doing? Is it selling a lot? Now, we just got started, so we haven't even begun that journey yet. But that's not always the reason that people write books. A lot of people write books just because it makes them look like they're finally a celebrity. So I've been out in my community and people say, oh my gosh, you wrote a book, you're famous now. So if you want to become a celebrity with around the people that you know, then you can write a book. It's a very good way to become an expert in your industry. So that's another reason why you would want to be an author. So Susan, your video is going in and out again. It's so funny. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this blab. I just wanted we're just getting started doing these more on a regular basis, and we didn't get all of our authors in here to interview. So I'm going to wrap it up, but you can go to discoveryourbooks.com, and there's a whole place right there you can watch and see how to submit your story and watch some other blabs. There's a couple other ones on the appearances tab that where we interviewed some of the other authors from this particular book. And thank you, Susan, for being here today.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and
you can also go to Getting What You Want, and I think there's a page on Discover Your iBooks there as well.
Yes, and then there'll be a publishing page very soon for Getting What You Want publishing as well, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks.
Okay, look forward to having some of you tell us your wonderful stories.
Oh, yes, my favorite thing. Okay, bye, everybody. Bye, Diane. Bye, Kathy.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.